So, hello everybody. Karen Dodd is joined today by Jane Stredder from Spinal Flow. Thank you for joining us on Wise Women Weekdays. And today we're going to talk about spinal flow and what it actually is, because I just had a treatment and I get blown away every time I have a treatment with Jane. It's not, what is it? Jane, tell us what it is.
It's working with your nervous system. Your body inherently knows how to heal itself. And when we utilize the technique, it allows your brain and your inherent life force energy to have a conversation internally, to find out the bits that need to heal, and it gets on and does the healing. It's the skill of your body, that inherent wisdom that you hold within you, is given access to really run through and do its work for you in a session.
So it's working with energy, and we're all learning now that we are energy, because energy seems to be the flavour of the decade, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know, when I put myself in your hands, it's fully closed. So I'm just lying on a healing bed, my head's down the hole, and then you make some adjustments. You put these little things underneath my hips usually. What's that for? For comfort, or?
It allows your real energy source comes from the base of your spine and the sacrum area, that triangular bone, and that's really what holds your power, your life force energy. And those bolsters just allow the pelvis to be tilted up, so it really registers in your body that that energy is now flowing, and you get this flow of fluid that actually travels all the way up and down the spine into the brain and back down again into that area. So it just helps that flow to begin.
So speaking personally, I mean, as we were just chatting over lunch, I've tried various modalities and I've trained in various modalities, whether it's Reiki or Barbara Brennan or Jeff Levine, life alignment. So there's so many ways of working with energy. I've never felt so deeply going somewhere. When I just came out of this session, what did you say, cosmic reset or something?
Yeah, sort of a cosmic connection. The body registers it's safe where we place our hands, our places of safety. And that information, your whole system registers through your nervous system as a point of access to your own inherent healing. And that just combines and draws on everything you have inside of you to make the changes. And you go to a place in your brainwave changes. And it's very much like going into rapid eye movement sleep at night. And we know we can test those wavelengths in the brain. So that enters into that rapid eye movement sleep.
Right.
And it's really like an equivalent of many hours. And I think Dr. Collie Axford said about 7 hours equivalent of REM sleep, which allows that healing, rest and digest within the system through a session of half hour, 45 minutes of spinal flow.
Wow.
So it's deeply restorative, deeply healing.
Because I know when I come away, I'm a little bit all floaty. I have to ground myself. And when I've had a 2-hour session, for me, that's a little bit too much because I'm wiped out because of whatever's in a nice way. It's just I don't want to do anything. I just want to, you know, sit and look at the sky or something like that. So an hour or whatever the session is, 45 minutes is totally plenty for me. And as I say, it takes me into this amazing place. So I don't know where. I don't know where I go, but I'm not in sleep because, you know, well, however you bring me round, I think you just say we're done. How do you bring me out of it? Well, I don't know, because it's the next thing. I'm up and
it's just right. I'll place my hands on you and your body will register that, okay, that's a different, and she's not on particular areas that are giving me this heal and digest. And often I would just say, you know, when you're ready to come back into the room, just take your time. Just allow everything to integrate is often something I'll say.
Trusting,
just allow that just to settle, to find its new place, because your body's been really busy. Your brain has been so busy finding these areas that it's having to
not just mine, everybody's. Anybody
who comes, and that whole system is starting to really re-navigate itself, is finding how to put in the healthy bits that had lost health. So that takes a little time for your brain to go, right, okay, well, that's different, that's different, that's different. So we don't rush you up off the couch. You're just sort of coming to terms with the new you inside of you. So it just takes a few moments. So it can feel a little bit out of body, if you like, for a moment. But then once your feet touch the ground and you're just having a conversation, you just really, you know, just sort of
it's like recalibration then, isn't it?
It is a whole nervous system recalibration. Yeah.
And it's interesting because when I came to you, I can't remember how I found you now because I've been coming since last year. I don't know. I think maybe on Facebook or something. I can't remember. but it was spinal flow, because I have had physical issues with my spine, being chucked off a horse many years ago, and I've got bulging discs and wear and tear, and we've all got stuff, you know, as we age. That's part of life, you know, part of the journey of being human. But I came to you saying, oh, I've got spinal issues. So you're not like going to a chiropractor or an osteopath. You're not manipulating the body, but you're allowing the body to do its own healing.
So the access points that we use are mainly found on that lower sacrum, and some are found sort of up in the cranium as well. And all of those gain access very quickly and swiftly into the brain tissue that goes everywhere. It's called fascial tissue. That's what we're really connecting through, is the fascial tissue and connective tissue. And that is sending messages to make the changes, because what's running inside of you, you are you because of your nervous system. And many times we get stresses and strains through life, and it leaves that stress imprint within our body, and it runs the show. In spite of what we do, we move forward in our lives. But actually, a lot of what's happened in the past shows up in the body. We don't know how to get to it.
Yeah.
So to get to it, spinal flow, we are making access with the body, but it's actually your brain and your nervous system that's scanning to find out where those stress points are, and bringing through that health and healing to change how you see that story when you come back into the real world.
The real world, if it's the real world, the world in which
when you come out of a session. That much. Yeah.
When we come back. Wow. So how, I mean, okay, you're explaining how it works. It's a case of trust, isn't it? And surrender, really, and working with, is it our subconscious, would you say, or our higher self?
I think all comes through, because the basis of spinal flow is saying that we are complete and we are all one. And I think when we lose our way through life, when we get knocks and blows and sorts of stresses and strains, we detach from the truth that is we are all one. So really within a session, we're reintegrating that utter truth, that natural law of all things, is that there is all we need at any given moment in time, but somehow we shut off from it. We had to, because our brain is protecting us for life. So it just holds it in, and then it doesn't know how to figure out how to let it go and to come back into flow. So this is allowing your brain to go, I get it now. I can make sense of it now because I'm in this state, and I can clear it away for good. So these blockages through the system are cleared away, because it can make sense of it because you're in that relax and digest state of the,
the parasympathetic
nervous system, the vagus.
Yes, so we're not totally stressed. So the hormones are changing. You're not using the cortisol, the adrenaline rushing, and where's my keys? I've missed the bus, all that. So, and I think through that, when you are in the parasympathetic nervous system, that's when healing takes place, isn't it? Because you're allowing the body to do what it's supposed to do. Trusting the body. So also, when I came to you on one occasion, it was literally after I'd had some really worrying news. I don't know if you remember this. I've been driving in the car, and I had a phone call from a new chiropractor, new to me, and who'd sent me off for a scan. And I nearly crashed the car because he gave me information which he should not have given me as I'm driving, and it frightened the life out of me, saying, "Oh, you know, you better hurry up and see a surgeon, else you're not going to be walking for, you know, much longer." And I came to see you, and you really calmed me, and you just said, "Trust the body knows," and that helped me immensely. And I did go and see a surgeon afterwards, and he said, "No, you're okay." He said, "You know, that you've got issues, but we all have. Just get on with your life." But I think seeing you, because you're such a calm and lovely person anyway, but also with the work that you did, it just grounded me. Otherwise, I could have gone mad.
Yes, you know, could have absolutely gone into that part of your brain which goes into fight and flight. And tries to run the show. The brain is incredibly clever, but given a set of circumstances or given certain language, it goes into fear and it shuts you down. So we're getting your body to register that right here, right now, nothing terrible is happening. I don't have to run a mile away from the saber-toothed tiger. Everything is okay. And then it puts that body into that state, into that parasympathetic state. So it remembers actually that it does know what to do. It has all it needs in that very given moment. We're not thinking about the future. We're not worrying about the past. We're absolutely just going with everything flowing through the system.
So is it, I mean, I just love coming to see you anyway, because it's like going on a holiday for me. So I go somewhere, it's like leaving my body, I come back totally relaxed, totally refreshed, and like a whole new me. And so I would come even if there was nothing wrong with me. But so is it something, you know, like a maintenance? We need to do this forever.
Yeah, that's very well put. Okay. And you've been on your own exploration of this, your own journey, and we've worked together on this. And we do go from, you know, pillars of ill health to the pillar of health. And we're working through, you know, the zone 1 is really, you know, we're in a chronic state of nothing's really functioning well. I'm in constant pain, you know, I'm going to have symptoms here, there, and everywhere. And as we take the stress out of the body will repair. It's changing our levels of health within the system, and that sense of well-being. So we go from like a treatment, if you like, coming to spinal flow to alleviate symptoms, but ultimately we are health creating beings. We are creators of our own health, and we're working through getting rid of the stress so your body can come back into vibrancy and well-being. So yeah, we get to a coaching level in a way, so that as you come out of stress, you yourself are seeing better ways of monitoring emotional stress, chemical stress, and physical stress. So you become absolutely more adept at it. I don't even have to plant the seed because the seed is already in there. You take the stress away, that seed blossoms, and then you have that information to move forward with it. So yeah, we're definitely moving you from ill health to health, and then maintenance. Yes,
and then maintenance. I love this. And what about people that think this is a load of bonkers? You know, people think, oh, I'm going to go to the doctor, or I'm going to go to the chiropractor or the osteopath, or, you know, not that the chiropractor or the osteopath is mainstream, it's becoming more mainstream, but a lot of people go straight to the doctor because they think this is woo-woo. They think, oh, you know, energy, put your hands on, nothing's going to happen. They can have their beliefs, or I should be asking you, can they have their beliefs, but it will still work? Or if they come with this disbelief, will it not work?
I think at its very core, it is uncovering healthy beliefs rather than beliefs that don't serve us. That's very much part of what it does inherently, because we are able to heal ourselves. But I think, you know, with the doubts that people have, that they don't believe their body can cope without being given a chemical intervention or some surgery, you know, they're doing that because that's what seemed to be the right thing to do, given Western medicine's approach. The two can coexist. And I think this just is reinforcing and building up that absolute truth that the body does know what to do. When you think about a bone that's broken, apart from possibly going in a cast, your bone knows exactly how to heal. Everything within inside of you, it's quite a miracle. The body knows to do this, followed by that, and all of a sudden that bone is mended. And if you have a cold, it will clear. It may not be clearing as quickly as you want it to, but ultimately you have everything within you to make that happen. And also when you go, if you have a test with the doctor, they will plug you into a machine that tests your electrical impulses from your brain, and it will also test your electrical impulses from your heart. So we know we are electrical, and that's what we're working with, that information coming through an electrical or an energetic component. And we're also flesh and bones. We've got water, and those two have to combine and mix, and then that's what creates us. You know, we are the cells and the histology that we are.
And we are a walking miracle, aren't we? I mean, it's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. The more you learn about the body and outside the body, it's just wow. So how did you, what's your background, and how did you get to find Spinal Flow?
I started off fairly mainstream. I was a dental hygienist for many years, and I just knew there was more to just dental hygiene than just cleaning and seeing somebody in a few months' time and then coming back for the same thing. It was all about behaviour and what people thought about their own health, really. I think that was probably the crux of it. So I went off and did different things. I did the flower formulas, Dr. Batch remedies, which really harmonised very nicely with Spinal Flow. I studied the Bowen technique, which again came from Australia. That was all very, very useful, and that works on the energetic component of the body as well as what happens within the cells. So that sort of combined, you know, my mainstream, or the real solid what we are, as well as the energies coming through, and those two together. So I've explored an awful lot of things along the way. I did EFT, which was tapping. I did then energy EFT. I did emotrance. Back in the day, it's changed its name, but ultimately working with how the body feels what it feels. So it became a very somatic experience. And ultimately, I realized that you can't talk therapy, stress and trauma from the body. You just can't. You can't get to it that way. It's part of the story, but actually to really help that body connect to the wholeness of what it is, you have to work with the body, and that's what really led me to Spinal Flow.
And the creator of Spinal Flow, if it is a creation, I don't know, but where it came from was from a chiropractor.
Yes. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about about this lady?
Yes, we've got 20 years experience just using this technique alone, and I just think she was a chiropractor for many years. I mean, forgive me, Dr. Carly, I don't know sufficient about it, but I can give you enough of a background. But yes, certainly the chiropractor was the basis. And wanting to do more, realizing that people coming back to have the same again because it wasn't sticking and staying or getting better. So I think just cutting it very short, but she went off and did a whole load of exploration.
Yeah.
Brought in all sorts of things and modalities and learnings, and then came up with Spinal Flow, and this is what we have today as a result of her amazing insight and bringing it all together in a very straightforward, non-invasive technique.
It's a gift. She's brought a gift to the world.
Blessing.
And that's interesting because when you said that, it just took me back to when my children were born. And I took each of them, there's like 2 or 3 years between my 3 kids, but I would always take them to a cranial osteopath. Partly because I didn't deliver naturally, unfortunately. I had to have them cut out of me for various reasons. But going to the cranial osteopath, I'm going to demonstrate here, if there's a head here, this one in particular in Brighton would start doing all this stuff, and I thought, how very strange. So this is like 30 years ago. And it was very dramatic, but now I know he was like working with the energy of the body, not just something tangible.
Yes.
So it's,
something was happening that he didn't have to put his hands on the body to feel that something was changing. Yeah.
Which is kind of what's going on here.
Yeah.
Another thing, I think, another touch that you add to your sessions is the background, I can't say music, noise. Because you have this lovely tone that's going on. It's not chanting or anything. I mean, it's just amazing. What is it?
Yeah.
I mean, has it got a name?
Well, it's a resonance. It's an Earth's resonance, and it's measured in hertz. Again, I'm no expert in this, but for me, it just allows the body to go, as life's truth.
Yeah.
And that just enables, it's like tribal almost, if you hear drumming, that just gets into on a vibrational quality, which just enhances your own body's working. So it's not impressing upon you in any particular way. It's just flowing through you, and then that builds up, your resonance for healing. So.
And it is linked to the Schumann resonance, I think.
Yes,
is it 432? Which is really where we should all. That's the resonance, the vibration of the earth, which we should be linked to, but it's been fiddled around with, I think, by certain.
It can be manipulated, I'm sure.
Yes. So we need to get back.
We need to really bring that back into us, so each of us can resonate at that, or at least be aware that's where we're meant to be, to work at that on our own personal journeys. And everything we come in contact with will grow in their own resonance as we do our own inner work, and it's just allowing us to do the inner work.
And I think also talking about that, the tone that's going on in the background, it made me comment about meditation, because quite often, well, I think you brought it up first, when people meditate, sometimes, if it's a guided meditation, you might be taken to a beach or to a place that it might bring back trauma, mightn't it? That could be somebody has a fear of water, or being on the beach or in the forest, something. So that's why this is really important, because you have no attachment to it. It's just it's like a heartbeat, isn't it? It's I hear it now, and it is. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's not a distraction.
No, it's not. That's right. Not a distraction. You're there fully embodied in the process. What else would you like to say, if you would, Jen? Is there anything else you would like to add?
It's what I've been destined to find. It is, for me, it's my life's work. It brings everything that I've ever done before into one modality. And in the beginning, you keep thinking it's going to falter. It's not going to be what I think it is, but it is, and it just grows and grows and grows. I've seen so many transformations from using it, just from body changes, from mindset changes, when I'm even thinking about things, the language changes, just a sense of calm, a sense of inner connection, which I think a lot of people perhaps have never felt before, but it's a very distant memory, suddenly becomes, that's how I'm meant to function. This is how it's meant to feel. So I'm just pleased to be doing it. It's just a pleasure to give and pleasure to be part of.
And can you perhaps, as we come into a close, obviously I'll let people know how they can find you, or Spinal Flow. Is there a website?
Yes, you've got, it's Carly's website, it's spinalflowtechnique.com.
Okay, so we'll put that in the comments
Yeah,
below.
yeah.
But also, could you just put you on the spot here? Give us 5 causes that this could help.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
sure there's more, but I'm just because I've
yeah,
picked
no,
on the
no,
spot,
that's good. You have picked my spine. That's absolutely fine. Where I go through my filing cabinet in my brain.
A,
So,
B.
so first of all, age groups. There's no limit to age groups. My youngster's been 18 months, and they came into this life. There was quite a lot of neurological damage. They were born very young, so 18 months the youngest, and 83 is the oldest.
Wow.
So, you know, mum bringing baby along and just sort of getting that life force really working through an immature system because they were prem. Anxiety, I've had, you know, youngsters coming in. It's wonderful to work with youngsters. That's 2, isn't it? So
yes.
that's good.
Sleep, could it help with
sleep?
sleep?
Is fantastic for sleep, and very often one of the first things that change is better sleep. When there are blockages in this region, it can just really help to relieve the tension. It's held in the head and neck. Crohn's disease, any you know, immunological things, and also adrenal overload will help with that. Back pain for sure, allergies. Yeah, there are just
right.
many.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Can it help with people that might have put stuff in their body that, you know, toxins or any sort?
Yes.
To remove them.
Yeah, definitely. In many, you know, the 3 main vehicles that cause stress in our bodies, one of which is chemical overload, and
yeah,
you know, our best, you know, efforts to maybe kick a cold or make ourselves feel better, having gone to the doctor, they'll put you on certain medicines. Well, there's always a residue of that which stays in the body. So with Spinal Flow, it activates better clearing within the whole system. So you've got better lymphatics, the better bloodstream, you know, circulation, just everything. It's just optimizing the system to come back into functioning optimally.
Being the best that you can be.
Yeah,
really.
Absolutely. Clearing out, allowing the body to clear out more quickly.
Yeah.
Just identifying where those blockages are.
And even if you don't believe any of that, but I obviously do very much, you have a very nice relaxation. You know, that's the thing. You can just go there for a relaxation and then think, oh, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But yeah.
And I think the lovely thing with it is that it's not a talking therapy. You can add and say and, you know, discuss or, you know, share with me anything you like. But, you know, ultimately you're coming to me just to feel better.
Yes.
And whatever that is and whatever your story, you know, if it's a story that's making you feel unwell, then we're unraveling that story to allow you to feel better about whatever's happened in the past.
Yeah.
To allow you to create the life you would
Wonderful.
love and want.
The life that we love and want. It's a good heading for this little chit chat. So Jane, thank you so much for joining me and having a little chat. Jane is based in Petersfield in West Sussex. But if you go onto the website, you can find Spinal Flow practitioners, I guess, scattered around the UK.
Yes, you can get the main site, which is Carly's site, and that will give you global to wherever you are in the world. But I'm based in Petersfield, and I've got an email address. You can find, you know, and all of that is on the site as the main
Super.
site.
Okay, lovely. Okay, anything else you want to close with?
Just thank you for the opportunity for just telling you about it.
Yeah,
the fact that you loved it.
I have loved it. I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I'm absolutely hooked. I actually look forward to the drive to see you and to say hello to you and have a nice hug and then just to be on your couch for an hour. I just love it. And then I go away and I'm a bit dazed and I have a cup of tea and then so yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm totally re-energized. So if you want more information, put anything in the comment if you like it, or if you've got any questions, put it in the comment and I'll make sure those are answered. But in the meantime, thank you very much to Jane and to you for watching, and do subscribe, thumbs up, and like if you like, or if you don't like, well, don't like. Right, I'm going to try and press the stop recording. Thank you.